Hey everybody, welcome to Cheap Comic Collector. This is episode number 225. And today we're doing a What Am I Reading episode. Haven't done one of those in a while. We finally got through all those Comics Den books, 14 episodes it took to get through those. And so I read some comic books and we are back with a What Am I Reading episode. And we'll just get to it here in a second. Let me just switch cameras. And please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. There we are. Yeah. And I see some glare. Let me get that light turned on. Nice. That looks much better. Okay. And get that out of there. And here we go. All right. Uncle Scrooge number 137 from 1977. And yeah, I had so much fun with that last Uncle Scrooge. I grabbed another one as part of this stack. And this was great. But very familiar to me. This is a comic that I had. I don't know if I had this particular issue, but I had these stories that are in this issue when I was a child. And before, you know how when you're young and you start reading comic books, you don't really think about collecting, or you're just there to read them. They're like toys. You have fun with them. And so these are actually stories I had from my very earliest days of reading comics. And I read them many times. So it was very familiar to me, but also fun to read. So we have Uncle Scrooge in All at Sea. Originally, it was in issue number 31. And it's a classic Carl Barks story. It's just great. And, he has like $1 billion in gold that he has to figure out how to get past all the thieves that want it, including the Beagle Boys. And so he decides to pick it up in an old windjammer. It's the cheapest thing he can think of, and it'll be a good disguise. So he has he ends up having a goldsmith change the bullion into basically shaped like Hey guys, sorry, my video came up with an error. I don't know if that'll show up later or not, but we're back. We're still recording, so I guess I just lost a picture. So yeah, he has a goldsmith shape the gold into kernels of corn to hide it. So when the Beagle Boys discover him and board his ship, they think it's just corn, but they do eventually figure out that it's gold when they try to get some corn for food, because they're running out of food on their ship. So there's a twist ending I won't go into because it's a classic Carl Barks ending. If you've seen it, you'll know. And the backup story is Uncle Scrooge in Santa's Unexpected Visit. Scrooge is writing his annual letter to Santa Claus telling him about good deeds that he's done, and he can't think of any. All he can think about is all the money he's made. But while he's doing that, he's constantly doing good deeds while he's questioning people and wondering how he can, thinking up a good deed that he can write Santa about. So Gyro Gearloose makes a brief appearance, and of course Santa Claus shows up at the end. And it's just a cute little Christmas story by Carl. So great issue. But like I said, I'd read it before. read much of it before. And then we have Batman: The Order of Beasts by Eddie Campbell, and this was interesting. You got the cover here, and you got this. This is the best image in the whole thing. You got this close up of uh, basically a rain spout on an old English building that looks like Batman. And that absolutely has nothing to do with the story. It's just the way it starts. So it's them looking at it. But this is an Elseworld story. It takes place in the 1930s, back before World War II, as Europe is basically in the days before war is declared. And Bruce and Alfred are in Europe, and they get involved in a murder mystery of sorts, with this group called the Order of Beasts, thus the title. And this is basically all rich political figures that are, for some reason, they dress up as animals and have an annual meeting or a monthly meeting or something. It's just some kind of weird thing that they do to relieve the pressure of the everyday. This guy here, Mr. Dog, is it's very strongly hinted at that that's Winston Churchill. His name is Winston, and he smokes a cigar, so you kind of just figure that that's supposed to be Winston Churchill. But anyway, somebody starts murdering the members of this group, which is a secret group, so that they don't know. Batman gets involved. He starts working with Scotland Yard, and it's very different as far as a Batman story goes. I think the thing I could most compare it to that I know of is probably Sherlock Holmes, the old Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes movies. That's what it evoked for me, is similar to that, except of course it's got Batman in it. But it was an interesting read. And that's about all I can say for it. It was interesting. It wasn't. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad. It was interesting. It was different. And then next up, we have the Firebreather miniseries. This is number 1 from 2003. Story by Phil Hester, art and letters by Andy Kuhn, and this was fantastic. I absolutely, really, really enjoyed this. It's very rare for a modern comic to get and it's not real modern. It's 2003, but it's very rare that I would give such a strong recommendation to a newer series, and this was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Artwork's a little bit off to me. It's kind of that similar to Mike Mignola's style, which just it kind of puts me off. But the story was so fantastic. It was easy to overlook. I got used to it real fast. It was just great. It was great. So Firebreather is basically a teenager who is the son of this dragon and a human female. And so he's going to high school. And so he's got orange skin, so he's used to people picking on him. The president or the principal of the school wants him gone. He's already been kicked out of like 4 or 5 schools. But the government basically has a deal where they protect him, and he's there on their say so, and so on and so forth. So the government has some kind of deal with his dad, which isn't fully explained in this first issue, but and then the second issue is more of the same. He's in school, he's getting picked on, he gets in trouble a lot because of who he is, and the government guy picks him up, takes him to go to his dad. His dad is the dragon, and wants to teach him basically the ways of the dragon. You have to be stronger than everybody, and his dad apparently has all these priceless works of art, um, Michelangelo, Van Gogh, stuff like that, that nobody's ever heard of. It's not even known. So his dad is ridiculously rich. He has various hoards of treasure um, around the world, apparently, and but they have some kind of deal with him with the government, and so he's supposed to stay out in this desert area. And in the next issue, he decides to test his son, uh, basically his will and fighting metal and stuff like that. And he lets a creature go that he was supposed to destroy, and finds out he has wings, um, and then he finds out that in the last issue his mom gets kidnapped, right? So is the creature that he was supposed to destroy kidnaps his mom, but it's actually working for his dad. It's another test. It's trying to force him into being the strong dragon-like creature that he's supposed to be, and according to his dad. And of course, his mom doesn't want anybody killed. She doesn't want anything to happen. And I was looking at those out of order. That's why it didn't make sense to me. So here's 1, 2. This is 3. This is the last issue. This is number 4. And I like this so much that after I put down issue number 2, I got on the internet and I looked to see if there were more stories about it. There is a special that came out like a year later, and then there's a ongoing series, but they only made 4 issues of it. And then there's another attempt at another mini series, but they only published 2 of the 4 issues. So, and apparently, according to Wikipedia, it was a movie on Cartoon Network. It was made into a cartoon movie on Cartoon Network. So there's that as well. But just awesome series. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to keep it. I am going to go ahead and put it in the claim sale. But it was a lot of fun. It was like Peter Parker if he was a dragon, man. It just I very rarely do I give such a strong recommendation to something. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to like it at all, and I loved it. And those aren't going to go in there anytime soon, so we're gonna. I need to rebag them for the sale anyway. So, and then last week we have Edge of Venomverse number 1. This is a variant cover. Not too sure who did the variant cover, and sorry, looking for the credits. There that. Roberto Poggi and Rochelle Rosenberg did the variant cover. So at least that's what I think it says. Probably murdering the name. But anyway, this has a version of Laura X-21. She's trying to escape the facility that she's being held captive in, where she was created. And in her attempt to get out, she binds with a symbiote. So she's now like a Venom type person. And 2 months later, these kids show up, and she kind of makes friends with them. The symbiote is hilarious because he wants to eat them, and then eventually she shares the symbiote with the rest of them. So the rest of them can turn into symbiotes as well, but then she takes the power back from them at the end when they're fighting the government agents. And it was really good. I'm not that big of a Venom fan. I didn't think I would like this, but this I really did like this. I wanted to see this story continue. Unfortunately, what happens at the end is she gets transported to somewhere else, and this guy, which not sure who this is, uh, if that's Captain America or U.S. agent or somebody else, I don't know. Yeah, they're getting she's basically recruited to fight in some war. So the Edge of Venomverse and the Venomverse storyline, it continues into more issues, but I wanted to see more interactions with her and the kids actually living in this abandoned building. And unfortunately it goes into hard into the rest of the storylines, so of the crossover event. Much like what I read recently that I liked. Oh, the new Ultimate Spider-Man that just came out like a week or so ago when you're watching this. It was really good. You know, it's written by Jonathan Hickman. It's fantastic. I didn't think I'd like it because I thought it was just going to be another version of Peter Parker. And it is, but it's Peter Parker grown up. He's got 2 kids. He's got Mary Jane as his wife. Uncle Ben is still alive and friends with J. Jonah Jameson. And it was a great story. And then at the end, it's basically revealed that it's part of an ongoing crossover event that I wasn't aware of. And yeah, who knows what it's going to go from there. I want to read more about, the common day life of these people, not see this great big event. I'm tired of events. But anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was well written. The art was good. It just great issue. And that'll go into sale as well. So Firebreather and actually everything except Uncle Scrooge will go into sale, but in a upcoming sale. I don't know which one yet, but Firebreather wins hands down. Great series. Really liked it. And then probably Uncle Scrooge, even though I've read it 20 times. Edge of Venomverse was really good. Surprisingly, and this is the one I read first because I thought I would like this the best. Order of Beasts was actually my least favorite of these issues. So, but that was good too. It just wasn't. It was just interesting. I don't know. A little bit different, on the different side. All right, where are we at? Thank you, like and subscribe. We do a new video every day at noon, except for Saturdays when we have the live stream, which is going to be claim sales for a while. I have a lot of books that can be sold off to raise money to go buy more books. I'm addicted. Yes, it's true. So thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.